Hey, buddy, you got any cigarettes on you?
What kind of a question is that?
I don't know. It's just something you're supposed to ask when you're in the slammer.
Back off, Odie. You're the reason I'm in this fix.
Hey, fool. Take it easy on the mud.
Who are you and what business is it of yours anyway?
My name is Fast Eddie, and this is my associate, Fluffy. And if yous must know, you should be nice to the mutt there because, he's the next to go.
Go where?
Look, pal, this here ain't no good ship lollipop over here. This is the city pound. And if no one comes to claim us, it's, if yous know what I mean.
How long does Odie have?
Till dawn.
Let's change the subject, okay?
Oh, sure. Would yous like to talk about needleprint?
Oh, that would be nice.
Ah, shut up. You'll have to excuse my associate. It was his lack of smarts that got him here to begin with. Couldn't be housebroken.
And you?
Fuck. Fucked it up. I'm not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. Fucking stupid. I'm never making lasagna again. It's over. It's over. It's done. What the fuck? Somebody made a song called Smell Your Dick. Smell yo dick. Can we stop with that? Can we stop with that, please? Just say the fucking word. It's not that hard to do. I mean, really. So here's what we're gonna do. Because, I mean, I know where I went wrong. I knew it was gonna be bad. I knew it was gonna be bad as soon as the sauce didn't come out right.
Hey, hello, come here, donkeys. Here we go. We started. Come here. What is that? What is that? What is that? Fuck off, will you?
Please. Let's see how these cunts do it.
We're gonna make one of my favorite things, absolute favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. Sunday gravy. Now, there's been an ongoing argument. Is it gravy? Is it sauce?
Who
Do
cares?
you really care? It's got meatballs, it's got brajos, it's got pork. I call it gravy. It's slow cooked.
Brajos, I guess.
4 or 5 hours.
Brajos. Oh.
Okay, to start off, we made our meatballs. After you fry your meatballs,
Meatballs. Oh, God. Ugh. If he's not putting it on, I'm alright with it. This guy's out of breath from breathing. That's not funny. I shouldn't laugh at that.
we got a couple of things. Hot Italian sausage.
No.
Okay, sweet Italian sausage.
Yes.
Pork for the gravy.
What?
And brajol.
Brajol, gabagool, blah, blah, blah.
Gabagool. Over here.
Made brajol. You can either use a flank steak. Matter of fact, that's what we're gonna use. So.
Alright, come on, guy.
Supermarket, your local butcher.
Butchers. I use everything and I say it at the end of it. Because I'm fucking Italian. I hate it when people put it on, man. If that's how you talk, that's fine. But I gotta know you're authentic.
Get a flank steak with a little hammer or rub or mallet. We're gonna do real quick.
All I can think about right now is how badly Doug would be flipping out if he was hearing this guy talk right now. I should send him this video.
Oh, we're doing this? All right. May your first child be a masculine child.
I should send him this video.
A little bit of salt.
That's a little.
A little bit of black pepper.
Little. That, you know what, not for nothing, but that was a lot less black pepper than salt. So you can't say salt. It was a little bit when you put less of one and more of the other.
A little bit of fresh garlic.
Garlic. Wash your hands. Wash your fucking hands. God damn, I can't do it with this guy. I can't. Wash your fucking hands. There's a sink right there, cat. Cross-contamination. Everything in that kitchen needs to be thrown away now.
I like putting a little bit of parsley.
And I like putting a lot of my contaminations of my meat all over my other shit here.
A little bit of basil.
Yes, I
Chopped
did
up
that.
nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, but you're using fresh shit. Maybe that's where I went wrong. But I've done it before, and it's whatever. Whatever.
Now some people put breadcrumbs, some people put cheese.
What?
I'm gonna put just a little bit of shaved Parmesan. Okay.
Oh, that's
now
no
I'm doing
good
this
now.
old school, like my grandmother used to do.
Oh, that's no
With
good
the
now.
toothpicks. Okay.
Keep it
What I'm
together.
gonna do,
Let it breathe.
simply after you stuff it, we're gonna roll it, and make sure you roll it nice and tight. Okay.
High and tight.
Keep rolling, and rolling, and rolling. When I was a
Come
kid, I used to
on.
watch my grandmother do this.
Me too.
And she didn't tie it with the butcher twine. That's the other way to do it. Very simple. A
But
little
my
toothpick.
grandmother never stuffed prosciutto because we couldn't afford it. We made chicken cutlets with mayonnaise because it stretched longer than eggs. And fucking, when she made sauce, there was none of this. There was meatballs and there was sauce, and that was it. And that was on a good time. Had a good time. But, you know, she worked miracles with barely anything. And I wish I was old enough to remember how she did things, because I don't know. I was too young. I had too much shit going on in here. There's too much. I wish I could exchange information and take out some of the dumb shit that I've said to other people from the past and replace it with watching her make food so that I could know. I used to have books of recipes written down, but my fucking mother threw them away. Asshole. I could fucking kill her for that. I'm not gonna.
You want to go in, out, in. Now be careful when you cook this that you remember the toothpicks in there. Another one to hold it together. And there you have it. Homemade braciole for the Sunday gravy. Now, to start, here's what we're going to do.
I'm gonna contaminate everything in my kitchen here that I'm touching.
And going. Okay?
Okay.
Some olive oil.
I didn't do that.
Now, the trick to this sauce, and where all the flavor comes from, is the meat. Okay?
Well,
very simple.
I didn't have any. I didn't fucking have any. Alright? I know I'm supposed to use a neck bone from a cow. I can't find it in the fucking supermarket anywhere. All of a sudden, nobody has neck bones anymore. I know that's how my aunt did it. I asked her once, how does she make this sauce? And she was offended at the idea that I would ask her for her fucking recipe. She said, you put a fucking bone in it, and that's it. You eyeball everything else. Eyeball everything else. The basil, the parsley, the paprika, the garlic, the onion, all of that. You just eyeball it.
We're going to take hot Italian sausage.
No, we're not.
Sweet Italian sausage.
Yes, we are.
We're going to get that started.
Started.
Okay? We're going to get the pork started.
Pork.
Now, the sausage already is stuffed. It's sausage. You don't need salt. You don't need pepper. But however, the pork.
Pork
Season
chops.
it, a little salt.
That's not little.
Okay. A little pepper.
That's no.
There you go.
All
And remember,
right.
season both sides.
Obviously.
Again, a little
Cut
salt.
the fat off. What are you
There you
doing?
A little pepper.
Gabagool.
Get that browning as well.
What? Oh, this guy's
Get
infuriating
your
me.
braciole up in there.
Braciole, get your braciole in
Now, a
there.
little trick too.
That's what she said. Oh.
Back up. Since we already fried the meatballs,
balls.
What I used to do, and my grandmother used to do, we used to take the grease from the meatballs.
Yep,
use
and
that
put
to
it in
start
the sauce.
gravy
Yep.
And start that and sauteing all your meat in.
Yes.
Now, once that's going, it's
Okay.
going to be going for a little bit.
Right.
You want to add your garlic. Now, you don't
How
want to put
long
your
is a
garlic
little
yet,
bit, sir? I'm here to learn. A little bit is not helpful.
because the garlic's going to burn. You want to get the meat going. You want to get it nice golden brown.
Everything is
Matter of
contaminated.
fact, take a look at that. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. You got your sausage, your
No,
pork.
it isn't. It's
right.
not cooking. What are you doing? Oh my god, I can't do this. It's not cooking. It's all in there at the same time. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The fucking sausage is on the sausage. Now I'm saying it like him now. The sausage is on top of the fucking pork chop. It's not cooking. And anything that is cooked is on top of raw meat. That's no good. What are we giving food poison for the fucking holidays?
You got your Italian sausage, your hot sausage, your bracioles, your meatballs, everything else. Now, like I said earlier, you don't want to throw in the garlic in the very beginning
Don't put wine in there. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
because it's going to burn. So what we're going to do, take a few cloves of garlic,
Right.
smash
Jen
them
did
down a
this.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Jen
Very
did that.
quick, very simple.
Right.
Now, it's been another long ongoing debate. Does onion go? No. Usually they cancel out the two. You know, some people, every family
Well-
does a Sunday gravy different. Everybody's got their...
Well, I should have. That would have been helpful. Maybe that's where I fucked up. Because we put garlic cloves in it, minced nice. Because we don't like chunks in this household. We don't do chunks.
Good for me.
And I put a gang of garlic powder, onion powder. I mean, because I don't like onions like that. The flavor I don't mind. I don't like chunks of onion and all that. If I eat an onion ring, it would be like once a year. That's it. I'm not really into it. But I understand onion is essential for flavoring. So we use the powder. Always, I even hit my grandmother to that when I was younger. Like, dude, can we not do chunks, please? You know, anything chunky is no good. I don't want that. I don't want that. Because she used to make it chunky. I literally just eat the meatballs with no sauce on it because I don't like chunks. But then my friend's mom made her sauce with no chunks in it, which is beautiful. Beautiful. That's how I like it. Or I would just pick out the chunks of onion, the chunks of garlic. I don't like that. I don't like the textures. I'm weird, okay? I understand, take the percentage of Italian away from me if you want to.
Thank you. Good.
It is what it is.
Their own tradition, their own way. Some put wine, some don't put wine.
Yeah,
My
no.
mother makes it. She puts a half an onion. She browns it. Doesn't mean it's wrong. No, it means absolutely nothing. Whatever you like, you do. But there is a rule to this.
I appreciate
You gotta
it.
have the pork, the beef, and the meatballs.
That's too much. That's
Okay.
too much. But we're two people. If we were cooking for a family, which I understand is the structure of Sunday dinners, we're a big family, but we're not a family. It's Jen, the cat, the dog, and myself. That's it. And they can't eat all of that.
Like I said, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic now.
Okay. Contaminated.
Get that going.
He says get it going. He hasn't looked at it
Okay.
in
And once
at least 3
minutes.
minutes.
What I like to do, again, some people put wine, some people don't put any wine, some people drink a little wine.
Dude, it's contaminated. What do you
But
do?
I like to add a little
can't.
wine, because what it does
I
is once
can't.
the meat cooks, and you got all that brown, all that goodness on the bottom of the pan, the wine's gonna help lift that up. and
See
bring
what
that
happens?
So,
See what happens when you contaminate your food? You can't say sentences right. That's what happens. That's no good.
we're gonna add a little red wine.
A little? That's a half a bottle, you fucking psycho.
And we're gonna add a lot of red wine. Why not?
Just
Okay, we're gonna let that go for a few seconds.
don't throw it out. It's trash now. You can't. This guy's fucking. People want to talk about me sounding like I do more drugs than Keith Richards. This fucking guy's immune system has to be the strongest thing on the face of the fucking planet. We should just take strains of his blood to test it against the fucking flu and Ebola for vaccines, dude. You want to cure AIDS? This is it right here. We use this guy's fucking bloodstream because salmonella can't catch a breath of fresh ass for nothing.
And what we're gonna do is add our tomatoes. And again, when you go through all the trouble of doing this and all the hard work, use a good quality tomato.
Okay.
What we have here just a couple of cans of crushed tomato. Buy your favorite brand, preferably San Marzano. Open them up.
I had the green
2
one.
cans of tomato. Okay, and the trick to this too, low and slow. This is one thing you don't want to rush. Okay.
Okay.
Probably have from this point at least 3 hours to 5 hours minimum. You want that meat nice and soft. You want it to cook. And when you do it, use a wooden spoon. Turn the gravy really slow.
And then you can also
gravy.
and then you can also beat your grandkids and or your children with it when they come in the kitchen and try to steal something out of whatever is finished, or they try to sneak a taste out of the pot. You beat them with the fucking spoon. That's how you do it. That, or at least that's how they did it back in the day, man. Anybody that's been around this official knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. No shit.
Sunday sauce, call it what you will. Meatballs, braciole, Italian sausage, hot Italian sausage pork. Now to finish it, we've been going about 3-4 hours. We're gonna put a lot of fresh basil, tomato basil. In Italian, like peanut butter and jelly. It's the perfect marriage.
I do like basil.
Let's finish that and get a little nuts.
Bro,
Okay, we're finishing with our fresh basil.
I can't.
Again, most people don't do
Parmesan,
this. They happen to
right?
like it. A little granulated onion. Does onion go? No. Usually they cancel out the 2.
You just said no onion! You just said no onion, you fuckface! You said the onion cancels out the garlic. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You can't do both. You lied to me, sir. I don't appreciate it.
And a little granulated garlic. And like I said, this ain't the cheap jar stuff. We make this ourselves.
Oh, whoa. You know what?
Okay?
Good for you.
Oh my gosh.
Good. I'm glad that you have the... You know what? I don't belong making fucking sauce, gravy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I was raised up calling it gravy, but people get aggravated when you do that. And I don't like to get it confused. Because some people will say you said gravy, and they're bringing me this brown shit. Like, what the fuck is... No.
I'm not gonna get aggravated over this.
No, dude, we don't do that. And for anybody that's wondering, I don't do the 7 fishes. You know what I mean? I don't like seafood. I don't fuck with clams. I don't do fish. I don't do any of that.
I don't do laundry. I don't do windows. I don't do carpets. I don't do bathtubs. I don't do toilets, and I don't do diapers.
Well, my children have been potty trained for quite some time.
Well, I don't do washing. I don't do basements. I don't do dinners. I don't do reading.
I sound like the nanny that they interviewed in Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't do bathtubs. I don't do homework. That's my food list. I don't do all this. Which, damn it, I was about to refer you to an episode that's no longer up anymore because I don't know how to not say things that are RPC.
Give this sauce a last and final stir. And now here we go to the plate. We got some cooked rigatoni.
Get the fuck out of here with those goddamn noodles. Angel hair all day. I understand why you're doing that. That's the go-to. We don't do that. I'm out of here. I can't do it. Never trust a skinny cook. That's true. You know it's legitimate when the guy is immediately out of breath. Don't put too many onions in the sauce. Meanwhile, it's all he's putting in there is fucking onions, this fucking guy. I'm as Irish as it gets, and let me say, I'd be proud to share a meal with this man. Food is cooked with love. Where are you gonna get that? Bro, but it's contaminated. That's no good. See, I can't do this. I'm out. I can't do it. I fucked it up. I bought the canned shit. I got 2 cans of tomato sauce because I don't like chunks. That's why I didn't do crushed tomatoes. I got a can of tomato paste, the little one. It's like, I don't know, a few inches big, right? Got some of that shit. Had the onions. Did everything nice.
Nice.
Doing a gang of paprika where, you know, it should have been hot. Now I don't like hot, so what I try to do, because of the acid reflux and all that, we throw a little brown sugar in it. I know some people don't like that because it makes it a little too sweet. But brown sugar, a drop of white sugar, just a little bit, not enough to give you diabetes, just enough to offset the heat a little bit. Right, then obviously the basil, parsley, oregano, shit like that. But I fucked it up. And I'm depressed because what sucks is when I tasted the sauce before we did the shit to it, it tasted okay. It wasn't to my standards, but again, there was no meat in it. There was nothing in it. I took a little bit of... We had sweet Italian sausage because we don't do hot sausage. So I put the oils from the sausage into the pasta sauce, hoping that would help. Oh, and butter as well, just to get it in there. I don't know why. It's supposed to help it not burn. It's probably bullshit. I don't know. I did it once. I've done it twice to memory. Well, where I was like, dude, this is as good as I remember it being. And instead of ground beef, I'd mince sausage after I cook it right off the... Fresh off the grill, dude. Get the fuck out of here. That's how you know it's official. Not this shit that I did today. We don't have a grill anymore because we're not allowed to have one. So I looked up a thing on the internet and I boiled it like they said to a light boil or a simmer as they call it, right? And then I threw it on a pan. I seared it, which made it rubbery and gross. That's no good. So I learned, can't do that. Can't do that. That's no good. I don't know what we're going to do. We layer it out. We got the polio...
Oh, fuck yeah.
Polio ricotta. We got the fucking mozzarella or mozzarella, as some people would say. You know, you do the whole deal. You spread it around nice, whatever. Layer it up, and then you put the sausage on every layer in between. So it's nice when you cut out a square, when you pull it out. I mean, normally you would get ground beef, but because ground beef has been shady lately, and I don't fuck with pork heavy, really, anymore. And it's not for religious reasons, I don't know, man. I've been doing mostly poultry lately. Like all chicken, I've kind of steered away from ground beef and a lot of pork. Rarely do pork chops. Don't get me fucked up, like I'll make baby back ribs.
I'm bigger than you. I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly. Come on.
Or regular ribs, whatever. But outside of that, I'm not really fucking with pork that much. And the meat, I gave up the beef because honestly...
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
It's not good. I've attempted to make tacos 3 times since we moved here. Every single one of them has come out like shit. Not all the way my fault. Too much cartilage. The meat just doesn't taste the same anymore. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm not into it. I don't like it. So, you know, we don't fuck around. I know how to take care of a chicken. You know what I mean? I could do it.
Choke my chicken lick, choke my chicken lick, choke my chicken.
I could do it right. I can fuck up some cutlets. Guarantee you I could fuck up some cutlets. If I have the time, if I have the right amount of medication, because it takes me... honestly, the whole process for chicken cutlets probably takes me like 4 hours. And most of that time is filleting it out and cutting out as much of the fat as possible. Which sucks because that leaves very little chicken left. But I don't like... The last thing I want in a chicken cutlet, dude, is when I go to bite into it, that I get this rubbery feeling from all the fat that was on there. I don't like that. I want just straight chicken meat. I noticed when I was going to say that, so, phrasing, but I don't like that. So I'll cut the top, I'll fillet the top out, flip it around, cut the bottom out. The biggest pain in the ass lately has been getting the sides of the fat off. It's been a problem. It's been a real problem. So much so, it's to the point where I'm almost ready to give up chicken and just never eat again. Because honestly, I don't know what to do with myself. I really don't. Because it's not up to my quality and standards. The food has dropped down tremendously. It's just not good. I mean, we tried to make a turkey. Look, I've had a series of bad events, man.
Oh, Christ, I'm getting all emotional from it,
Right.
Tried to make a turkey. The oven shut off. We put it on 170 to cook it overnight, right before Thanksgiving. Right. We put it in the oven, cover it with tin foil like we're supposed to do. A little bit of water on the bottom, which I did a turkey. It's on the channel, on the YouTube channel. You should go check that out. If you're interested, if you're anything like me, I had to learn the hard way. And luckily, somebody helped me. Can't remember your screen name off the top of my head. But when I started doing live streams, she kind of walked me through how you gotta rinse the blood off and all that stuff. And I just saw something on the news recently that says, like, they're trying to get you to not rinse the turkey anymore because of contamination. Don't you worry about that. I got my kitchen solid, dude. Because once that bird goes into that tray and it gets covered with butter and all the essentials, when that motherfucker goes in the oven...
First, we start with the bird. Let's see here. Remove bird from freezer at least 24 hours before cooking. Well, I'm sure that's just a minor technicality.
Yum, yum. Turkey on a stick.
Remove giblets from cavity and stuff with 1 cup of prepared stuffing. Well, you can't believe everything you read.
I can hardly bear to watch.
Place in roasting pan, breast side up. Rub skin with butter. Well, I don't see what good that'll do, but okay. Cover with foil and roast at 325 degrees for 5.5 hours. I guess I'll just have to speed things up a bit. 500 degrees. That was easy. Okay, now for the vegetables. Let's see, corn, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, turnips, squash.
Be still my beating heart.
Add water and done. To hear Mom and Grandma talk, I always thought preparing a Thanksgiving meal was tough. I'll get back to this later. I'd better spruce myself up a bit.
Thanksgiving. Humbug.
It's everything is getting wiped down, scrubbed. No bullshit, dude. We gotta open the fucking windows in full blast. It doesn't matter what temperature it is outside because it's gonna smell heavy in here because everything gets scrubbed down. You cannot fuck around with contamination. That is my biggest deal. Maybe it's OCD. I don't know. I have no idea. But I make sure I clean everything thoroughly. Like to the point where when the shit is in the oven cooking, the dishes are getting washed. And then after that, everything gets wiped down. It's a long and strenuous process, but it's worth it so that I don't have to go to lean up against the counter and go, fuck, did I clean that? I don't want none of that in my life. And I touch my face a lot, so the last thing I want to do is touch a contaminated area and then rub my eye or something, and then I'm fighting for my life in the hospital. No good. We can't have that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, the turkey was fucked up. We covered it. We put it in the oven. We go to bed at like 2 in the fucking morning. I wake up at 8 a.m. I come out here into the kitchen. Well, here, I'm in the computer room right now. Computer/sewing room. This is the creative zone, the activity area, the arts and or crafts, whatever you would prefer. I got a mannequin next to me right now. I got paintings in the back over here, which, by the way, shit is for sale, bro. If you hit the fucking Instagram page and you see some shit that you like and you go, that would look dope hanging in my house, you could buy it. You could buy it. I got the hookup. I fucked the artist, bro. It's all good. You can get it if you want it. Well, not the art, I mean. Anything else, we're gonna have a problem. But, you know, don't worry about that. We're not talking about that right now.
Feisty.
I'm saying, if you see something, like, you know, genuinely, if you see something that you think is really cool and you would like to buy it, hit me up, dude. I'll work something out with you. Dead serious. You want a custom job done? We'll work it out. We'll get a price down, whatever. We're not crazy around here. I'm not looking to rip everybody off. At the same time, I don't want her to get ripped off. The amount of hours, the way that I do my chicken cutlets is the way that she does her artwork. Hours and hours go into this shit, dude. It's not a joke at all. Shit is very serious. Really serious. Especially when she's doing some shit. So, I don't want to see her get taken advantage of. I don't care who you are. I don't care what company you represent. Her artwork is not going in your fucking dumpy magazine for you to own all the rights to it for the rest of the time that you're in circulation. That's not happening. We're not doing that. We're running royalties here. Thankfully, I listen to rap music, so I learn a lot about, you know, owning your masters, essentially. Where you gotta know you never give them the rights to your shit if you can help it.
And everyone, get ready to do your math. Okay, there are 100 points on the album. TLC had 7. Every point is equal to 8 cents. All right? 7 times 8, 56 cents. But as time went on, we learned a lot. That means every time an album gets sold, TLC gets 56 cents. So 10 million records, $5.6 million. Seems like a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money when the record company has spent $3 million to record your album. And in the record business, we pay all costs back to the record company. We pay recording costs, video costs. So now we have $2.6 million left. Well, guess what? When you have that much money, you're in about the 47, 48, 49% tax bracket. So that immediately gets deducted to $1.3 million. Then you split the rest 3 ways. You got about $300,000 a piece, if that much. Okay? $300,000. I can buy a nice house with that. And what am I going to pay my bills with?
No 360 deals around here. But it's a whole separate conversation. I'm telling you, go check out the Instagram. @LaughingBirdsPod. Artwork's on there. Clips to the podcast are on there. I fuck around and do live streams from time to time on there. I don't have a set schedule yet. But that's because I have no idea what I want to do. I'm all over the fucking place. I said I was going to stop making YouTube videos, and then here I go making YouTube videos that just flop. Fucking Nakatomi Plaza, dude. Just to the ground. No good. I can't do it. I gotta just stick with the podcast and leave it alone. That's what works. That's what works. Because fucking around, I lose more people than I gain. Which is fine. I get it. I get it. It's just that I feel like I should always be doing something. I want to be creative, and I don't ever know how long that I have. That's part of the problem. Is I always feel like, well, you know, I might not wake up tomorrow. Or if I wake up tomorrow and my legs don't work, that's going to take precedence over doing anything in this room. Because how am I going to get here? And then, you know, that's heavy business. So you never know. The MS could flare up tomorrow and I might not ever be able to talk again. Some people would throw a party. I understand. I'm just saying, I always feel like I gotta do something. Always. So I gotta try to relax and just be okay with, look, dude, we're all the way into January already. It's December 14th, Terminator timeline right now. You know, this shit's probably not coming out until late January 2020. Because we don't fuck around. We do shit big around here. Because you might as well. What else are you gonna do? Especially when I'm passionate about shit. It's just a fine line between maintaining a life outside of this and then doing this. Because I feel like, you know, for the people that show up, even though it's free, I want to give you your money's worth, right? Like, you could be watching anything. And instead, you decide to come here and check out whatever I'm doing. You know, I want to make sure that I got something for everybody. But, you know, anyway, the fucking oven turned itself off. So, the whole turkey, we wound up cooking it from 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. And the whole thing wound up going in the fucking garbage because it didn't cook right. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, a couple of pieces, the bubble gut set in, and we were like, alright, this is food poisoning right here if we fuck around with this. So, I don't like to waste, but that was no good. You couldn't feed that to the fucking dog. It was no good. Had to toss it. So, you know, I don't know, man. I guess you gain a skill and you lose a skill. I lost the ability to make sauce. I could do a turkey now. Well, we're going to see, because I got one in the refrigerator right now. There's Christmas coming up soon, and I got another turkey in the freezer. So, you know, we're going to find out if, you know, this time it'll come out good. But there's other shit that I wanted to talk about while I was here. Oh, yeah, well, real quick, we'll go over the meals. Lasagna is off the table from now on. Until I can find somebody to help me get through the recipe, the right ingredients, the way to do it, I'm not touching it anymore. It's a goddamn shame that I can't do it right. Especially because I built a bit of a reputation for myself. Like, it's to the point where, you know, some of the neighborhood cats are like,
I can feel my arteries hardening already.
Dude, like, I'll try your shit. If you're gonna do some shit, I definitely want to try it. Which I'm flattering, 100%, but I can't give them garbage. That lasagna in there ain't fit for a dog. It tastes like straight salt. I don't know what the fuck happened. I didn't even use that much salt. But that was the whole point, I think, before I go off something else. Was, you know, it tasted okay. I put it in with the shit. And then it comes out and it tastes straight salty. No other flavor. I don't know what went wrong. I'm not sure what happened. But it's heartbreaking. Because that could have been 4 days worth of food right there. Obviously not all at the same time. But, you know, that's why I like meals like that. Because it will last us for a few days. Like, bro, there's nothing better when you can stretch lasagna out for a day or two. And then switch to something else. Or when we make the turkey, eating some turkey and some potatoes. Some mashed potatoes. And then feeling full for most of the day where I only got to eat twice. Beautiful. It's a great feeling because then I don't have to be cranky because I'm hungry. I don't have to worry about what am I going to eat because I already know where it is. I know what it is. I know it's going to be good. Drop a little bit of salt and pepper on that shit before I nuke it. after it's cooked, obviously. And I do fuck with the dark meat as well, if anybody's wondering. A lot of people don't. I will. On like the third day when all the white meat is... Well, the white meat will make it maybe a day and a half. Maybe. Jen's tearing the skin up. You know, shit's happening. The dog is eating the giblets, the heart, and whatever else. The cat wants a piece of the action. Everybody gets a little bit. But I'm the only one that really fucks with the dark meat. So I eat that shit. But now I got sidetracked again. See, I don't know, dude. It's over. It's over. Which sucks. Tacos are off the table. Lasagna is off the table. Chicken cutlets are okay. As long as I can find the right chicken, which as of late has been extremely difficult to do. Breakfast sandwiches are no problem. Pork roll, egg, cheese on preferably a honey wheat English muffin. If not, diner style toast. That's a treat though. You can't eat that every day. That's not good for you. They're called a heart attack for a reason. If you've never heard of this, a heart attack it's usually on a roll. It's usually on a roll, but you have to improvise when you don't have money. So, what it is, we'll say that we have a roll, right? You have your roll. Some people put butter on the roll.
What are you looking at, Mrs. Crazy? Your son's no prize.
It's a little much. It's a little much. Maybe once, and as thin as I can get it. But I really don't even like doing that. It's a little much for me, dude. So here's how it goes down. You break the roll in half. You can do this two ways. You can either, depending on the size of what you're working with, if it's toast or an English muffin, you're going to want to rip up the pieces of the pork roll once it's cooked, or the tail or ham, whatever the fuck you call it. And, put little pieces down. Or if you're on a roll, you can drop the whole thing on there. But then you gotta really work through it. So it's better to break it. Break it up into small pieces. Then you drop an egg on that motherfucker.
Ooh, I am finding the fried egg upon my face.
You mean egg on your face?
Right, you have the option to put some cheddar cheese on it. Vermont style is one that I really enjoy. Sharp Vermont is good. The New York is alright, but I like the Vermont better. Thin slice. Like maybe use a potato peeler and cut like 2 little slices. Drop that on there, on the egg. Or, well, you're supposed to put the cheese on the pork roll right when it's finished cooking, before you pull it off of the pan. Oh, and, well, most importantly, don't forget, take your pork roll, and just like chicken cutlets, you gotta put a plate out, separately from whatever you're gonna be eating on. Put paper towels on it, and put your pork roll onto the paper towel so it will drain. You don't want all that extra grease in your life. I mean, sure, for some people it enhances the flavor, but you're already eating a bunch of shit that is not good for you. If you can cut a little bit of the grease out, it's gotta help. So make sure you do that, which is most of the reason why a lot of the times I wind up putting a little bit of the cheese on the egg, so that I can make sure that both sides of the pork roll are dried with as much of the grease as possible off of it, right? So pork roll, egg, cheese, salt, pepper if you want to get crazy, a little bit of oregano or parsley, whatever you prefer, and then you drop another layer of pork roll and one more egg on that motherfucker, and that is a heart attack. At least that's how I do it. Some people roll with ketchup. I don't fuck with that. I eat it straight. You know, like a shot of Johnny Walker, dude, just straight and just keep it moving, man. So, there's that. I do want to bring up some other shit. I've been rambling on about food for a while, but I'm heartbroken that I can't do this shit right anymore, dude. I don't even remember why the fuck I walked in here. I know lasagna was a big part of what I wanted to speak about. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Fuck. I mean, I feel bad. If you follow the Instagram page or even the YouTube, I do live streams. BCHQ sent me a video. If you're unaware of who he is, he runs a reaction channel, which I know I plug everybody, but I'm trying to help out, man. If I can help build people up, that's good for me. I'm supposed to do some shit on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, but I also have a play that I have to go to. You know, one of the neighbor's kids having a play that he's in. He has us to come, so I gotta do that. So I gotta work out a time schedule with that dude. I don't know how the fuck that's going to work. It's gonna be a fucking mess. But that's if the plans hold up. But he sent me a video where he was talking to a dude about OCD, right? Now, I don't know if this is his friend. I don't know who this guy is. But I don't like the way that he conducted the quote-unquote interview. I understand in the moment you probably felt like you didn't have a lot to work with. And I'm not even trying to diss you, Bean. It's just that, you know, I understand how difficult it can be to talk about shit like this. You get a little intimidated. But, I mean, like, the guy's half paying attention, or so it seems. I don't know the man personally. I don't know the relationship that they have, so I'm not going to judge. And I should definitely not talk shit, considering that I stepped on this dude the last time that we tried to have this conversation, running my yapper about my own fucking problems, which is, I still feel bad about, beat myself up over. But, you know, I didn't like the way that it went down. You know, while this guy is trying to talk about a workshop that he put together, this dude's plugging his fucking Instagram and his Twitter and all of that. You know, I'm not into that. But whatever. So I'm gonna try to make it right when he comes on the channel on Wednesday. We're gonna be putting some shit together that will be coming out in the future. Unless I've offended him. Because he asked me to watch the video and let him know what I think of it. And he already knows I'm honest and straight to the point. I don't fuck around. If I did some shit, you know, that he was not necessarily a fan of, I would like him to tell me. Which I'm sure one of those things would be the email that I wrote to him. Where I was like, dude, you know, this guy sucks. Straight up, that's what I said. This guy sucks. And I said all of I don't know the relationship, but everything I just said to you, I wrote to him. Like, you know, no offense, but I feel like it could have been done better. When you come back on the channel, we're going to do it right this time. You know, I want him to be able to tell the shit that he wants to say properly. And I don't feel like he had the opportunity to do that. But I'm not the greatest to ever do it, so I shouldn't talk shit. The guy was trying to do a cool thing. I mean, obviously, we all have things that don't go so well. You can go all the way back to... Yeah.
I'm gay for firemen.
Sure.
wood cleaner.
Yeah, I did the without in the living room, and I did this table. Yeah. But he was like a wood cleaner.
I don't know why I thought it was some kind of a thing that, you know, some kind of a...
Well, I should have said does cleaner.
You can go all the way back to...
All right, obviously you told the cops you don't know who did this.
I'm upset, but please, I know how to keep my mouth shut.
Unless, of course, there's a salami sandwich around. Oh, Paisan!
And this is the last time I'm gonna mention those fucks because they don't reciprocate when I do them the favor of plugging them. So fuck them. As far as that's concerned. Again, I don't know those dudes personally, but when I put a fucking tweet out and I tag you in it, I know you read your mentions, bro. Like, you could at least fucking retweet it. I mean, it's helping y'all. And you can laugh at me. And if you don't want to go all the way back...
Teddy Roosevelt gave an entire speech once with a bullet lodged in his chest. Some things are a matter of duty.
You will soon, in January, be able to listen to... should call it Black Box 2. Featuring Felix Levine from the Where's This Going podcast. I reached out to this guy, and he was kind enough to be like, oh, sure, I'll do it. Everything went wrong. In my mind, everything went wrong. I mean, even so severely to the point where I got up to take a leak real quick, and the mic picked it up.
An hour later, they're hosing it down with disinfectant.
I can't imagine the horror that must have been going through this guy's head. And I was the first show that he did outside of his own. Which I'm sorry to anybody else who tries to have him on. I didn't mean it for it to be like that. Everything was just fucked up, dude. Everything was fucked up. You know, I was all over the place with the questions. I'm not happy with it.
If you're gonna lie to me, tell me there's a broad waiting in the car wants to tongue my balls.
Well, you don't got enough on your plate? I mean, in your blender?
I'm not happy with it at all. He says it's fine. I sent him the video link. Hopefully he'll cut a clip out that he likes and he'll post it on his channel because he has some big names on his channel. And I figured I'll try to help him grow. And we could do a collaboration, try to show these motherfuckers what the Island of Misfit Toys is up to. Because that's essentially what Laughing at Birds podcast is. I'm trying to help other motherfuckers. Even though most people are suckers that have bodyguards. That they think they're too big for their own fucking good. If I reach out to you to try to get you on my podcast, it's to help you, stupid, so that the few people that listen to my shit will know you exist. It's the point. It's supposed to help each other. Instead, everybody's treating this shit like comedy in the 90s, whereas now I'm just about me, and fuck you. That's no good, but whatever. So we're not really fucking with guests that much anymore. Because I don't know how to conduct myself. I get too nervous trying to talk to other people. You know, it never goes the way that I want it to go. It's always terrible. I always hate it. Hate it. Like, hate it. For real. I beat myself up for weeks after I record one of those. And all I think about is how they must be like, what a fucking joke this guy is. To think that he can do this and get away with it. Whatever. You know, some people like Felix can reach out to people and have guests on and it comes out professional and courteous and all that. I try to do it and it's a hot mess. Even when BC comes on, because he's been a strong feature on the channel lately, But, you know, me and him have a good back and forth with one another when I shut the fuck up and let the man speak. We have a decent back and forth. I feel comfortable speaking to him. Like I've known him for a while. Even though we haven't really been speaking for that long. It's odd. But you pick up on it right away when that connection is not there. You know, I'm hyping this episode up to be trash. But people like watching a car wreck. So, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be better than the goddamn lasagna that I fucking attempted to make. There was other shit that I wanted to bring up. And I can't. I should have wrote it down. I knew I should have wrote it down. And I fucking didn't. Because there was 3 different things that I wanted to bounce around with, and I can't remember any of them for the goddamn life of me. One of them had something to do with comedy. I know that. Stand-ups. I did an episode, I think it was 3 or 4 comedy greats, where I literally took a moment and I wrote down all of the stand-up comics that I could think of that were just straight killers. I bring up John Pinette because this made me think. In that video, I talked about comics, and I said, like, you know, John Pinette, hopefully he's at an endless buffet wherever he is, because that's what his shit was. Top comics, your top 10, or even your top 5. And then as I went through the list, later on when I shut the video off, I realized, like, wait a second, dude. Comedy is not really the same thing as music, and really even music probably shouldn't have a top 5 or top 10. Because then somebody that always is going to deserve to have the spotlight isn't necessarily going to get it. Anyway, I started making a list of all the top comedians. Now, this is only who I can think of off the top of my head, and I could be missing somebody. It's a great list, but I feel like I need to revisit that. You know, I don't know, man. I should probably just fucking wrap this up, dude. I can always revisit it later. It's not that big of a deal. Plus, I got a whole bunch of other shit that, you know, still I have to work through, figure out what's gonna go and what's not. It's been a bad run. It's been a bad run, dude. Like, it hurts me. Like, I don't have children, but when I fuck up a meal like this, it feels like I've lost a child. And I know that's wild for me to say. But honestly, like, the amount of effort and love that I put into these fucking things, when it doesn't turn out right, I'm fucking heartbroken, man. Well, I shouldn't say lost a child. It's like a relationship has been ended. You know, oh, well, maybe that was the other thing. Was when I was doing a live stream on Instagram earlier today. Doug popped in for a little while. Let me know he's alive, busy, working and shit. And I made the fucking stupid mistake of sending him a text message. Because I felt like I didn't talk to him enough when he was in there. But he never got back to me. I'm sure he's busy doing 100 things, but now my brain is like,
oh, you shouldn't have did that, stupid. He was just stopping by for a moment. There was no reason for you to do that. Now it's weird.
Like, it's not weird. You're making it weird by thinking that way. But he should know. He should know. You should know what I'm talking about. I overthink everything, dude. I can't help it. Now I'm beating myself up for sending him the text message being like, so what are they having you do? You know, I thought I saw you doing some things in different places, you know, that was work related. I was curious about that. I'd love to have him on the podcast sometime, but that's not going to happen. Again, because I'm too outrageous. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to bring up too. Well, we could talk about that another time. Let me write it down. Scale attack. I'm writing it down because, you know, I was talking about, you know, my small people not wanting to fuck with me. And what's fucked up is I was super into this game. And I wanted to have these guys on the podcast just because, you know, I like the game and I like all of them and I thought it would be a cool thing to do. But they were upfront and honest, which I can't be mad. They were like, dude, honestly, there's no benefit for us to do your shit. You don't have enough people behind you. Like, maybe if your numbers went up, I even did a Let's Play with it, and they were cutting promotions for it, but they didn't want to use mine. So I thought to myself, like, dude, damn, if people I know are like, bro, there's no benefit for us to do your podcast, then why bother reaching out to a stranger? You know, clearly the numbers aren't there. Just leave it alone. Stay to yourself. Stay to your corner in the sandbox. And I'm not even saying that to be shitty. It's a great game. If you haven't downloaded the demo, you should download it. Go to scaleattack.com. I think it's called. Drop your email, download the demo. They won't spam you. They've never spammed me, which is a beautiful thing. I appreciate it. Spam email is another podcast for a later time. Great game, honestly. A lot of fun. Just sucks that I wouldn't have been able to get those dudes on this podcast. When I say I know them, I don't mean I hang with them and I know them personally. Like, I've had interactions with them in passing. Which, I mean, what are you gonna do? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna stay to myself, man. Because when this shit with Felix went sideways, and I don't know how he feels about it, but I have no problem calling myself out. So it has nothing to do with him. It's me. You know, and the shit, the way that I did things and stumbled over words and all that. Either way, I really enjoyed having Felix on. You know, it'd be great to don't even finish that sentence, because then you just sound thirsty and we don't want that. It was fun to have the dude on the podcast, and, you know, hopefully he enjoyed himself, and that's it. Clearly the guy doesn't need my fucking help. He's got killer names on his show. I just, you know, hope I didn't fuck him up too much. But I think I gave him a good lesson. I think I gave him a good lesson in podcasts, which is that, you know, even if somebody has a good intention to have you on, doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna go great. Even if I want it to. So hopefully after that airs, more people will have him on, and, you know, he'll get the recognition that he deserves. Meanwhile, we're gonna stay to ourselves, and I don't think I'm gonna have another guest on for a while. Outside of the regular haunts that have been stopping by, I don't think I'm reaching out to anybody new. You know, I'm still waiting on...
I forget. Why was it again?
The Bunny Ranch media manager, to let me know when he wants to come on, if he still does. If he doesn't, I understand the man is busy, so I don't want to, but that's the other thing too, is I don't want to bug him. I know he's got a lot of shit going on, but maybe when I get my confidence back up a little bit, I'll shoot him another message, because we did have a short back and forth. So we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, staying to myself for a while. I don't want to put myself through it anymore. And I got enough content to at least get through January. So I got some more shit I gotta throw together. It's not all gonna be happy, joy, but I've been a little heavy-handed on the podcast lately, because I did go back and listen to some of the earlier episodes, and they seemed a lot more fun than a few that I've done as of recently. So I gotta try to get back into a better mood. But, this shit is gonna happen. It's real life, dude. This is a real life podcast about real life shit. So, I can't promise you it's gonna be happy and funny every single time. But I would imagine part of the reason why you come around and you check it out is because it embodies something that is genuine, transparent, authentic, whatever word you want to use. With that all being said, I fucking rambled on for an hour in here. That's crazy. I honestly wasn't expecting it to last that long. We'll edit all this shit later, and whenever this comes out, I'll probably wind up catching you guys in February, Saturdays, Laughing at Birds podcast, at Laughing Birds on Twitter, at Laughing Birds Pod on Instagram. Links are in the description for all the deals, Spotify, iTunes, and a gang of other podcast platforms. Rate it, do all that shit. Catch you next week.
First off, let me just say how sorry I am for your loss. We all are.
Take your fucking sorries and stick them in your ass.
I know I already plugged the social media at Laughing Birds, at Laughing Birds Pod, but still, I thought I should intervene briefly in here just to say a couple things, which is that when I mess up food like this, especially coming from the background that I came from, it hurts me inside, because I feel like growing up and watching somebody build this from scratch, taking nothing, plain ingredients, throwing it all together and making great food. When I can't do that, it bothers me, especially because I seen it. I watched her do it. Now I don't have the recipe books anymore. I covered that, but it's still, I feel bad, man. You know what I mean? Especially because it's a talent, it's a skill, and I know it's not gonna come out perfect every time. I'm sure even Gordon Ramsay has days where he'll go to throw something together and it comes out like shit, and he's cursing and screaming in his own kitchen by himself, nobody else is there. But you get so aggravated at yourself because you know that you have the ability to do it. You know what you're doing. It just doesn't come out right all of the time. So, that's no good. But these things are gonna happen. I'm only a fucking person. What can I do? I can't sit here and pretend that it's gonna be perfect every single time. I'm sure somebody somewhere can relate to that, but it doesn't make it any less hurtful that we spent the money, a decent amount of money, by the way. This shit is not cheap. caught the sausage on sale, but the ricotta and the mozzarella, this shit's not cheap, dude. You know, and then to buy the trays, any amount of time that it takes to throw all of this shit together, you're looking forward to it all day. You know, the house smells a certain way, all of that shit, all of the build-up. It's like watching a trailer and then going to the movies, and the fucking movie sucks. They lied to you. They took out all of the best shit that the movie had, and they put it in the trailer to trick you into buying a ticket. Now you feel cheated. This is nonsense. And besides, I can't do much. I can't fix a car. I can't build a birdhouse. But one thing that I can do, most of the time, is I can make you some food that will make you go, I can never eat this in a fast food setting ever again, because I know the way that it's supposed to taste. What a heartbreaker, man. We'll have to try to do it again soon. Not sure when, but we'll figure it out.